Hey, this is Max. Welcome back to another CSR2 video. So I'm here looking at the Pheonix Evolution Cup, and I have my Ford GT Tier 4 ready to go. Now, I've finally seen the Zoocar shift pattern, so I'm going to change my shift pattern to his. I thought I was using his, but apparently I got it from somebody else before. Regardless, his pattern's a little different. If you get it just right, of course, you can get a very good result out of the car, which is what we're always looking for. The other thing is that I'm going to use a little bit different setup than what Mills used to try to finish this cup. Now, what Mills has shown us in his video is that you can do it with engine, tire, and body. I think Natural Motion might have made this cup a little bit easier than when it was on the first day. That's the general consensus. So what I'm going to try to do is to finish this cup with nitrous body and tire. Here's why. Nitrous is pretty useful in really driving this car under dyno. And with the shift pattern from Zoocar and with the knowledge I got from Mills, knowing that the challenges are a little bit easier, I'm pretty confident I can actually do this challenge with just those three stage 6. Replacing engine, which is a little bit better stage 6 than nitrous, at least on dyno, but I think Nitrous can definitely pull it off here for all the challenges with a little bit of tuning for the speed traps. But we all know Nitrous is generally good for speed traps and therefore helpful in every way. Now, what have I done differently on the tune? I have now made Nitrous powerful short duration rather than having it all the way to the left, which is what I showed during the Golden Cup. So this is Nitrous at 7.2 maximum horsepower, and then utilizing highest evo as far as final drive, and then still the 5248 as far as the tire is concerned. But let's use Zoocar's shift pattern at least as close as I can duplicate it. I think he launches somewhere like 3,300 RPMs. I'm just going to launch somewhere in here and hope for the best. Alright, so here we go. Now that means a little bit quicker release, and then he goes to 2,200 RPMs, nitrous here, 4th, 5th, 6th. Now, with the way he does it, with the nitrous as powerful as it is, the car goes way, way under dyno. So this car actually dynos at 11.02. And look what I just ran, 10.378. This is about as good as the engine would run, but the engine actually, with that installed, dynos a little bit better than what nitrous shows. The other thing is that mile per hour is high, but it's not necessarily high during the quarter mile runs. We're going to get into that when we get to the quarter mile runs. But again, with powerful nitrous, and I think if I get to 5th quickly, getting it right on nitrous and then shift into 6th pretty quick, I can push it over that 255, 260 mark. I believe Natural Motion took away the 266 mile per hour challenge, which is why this overall challenge is a little bit easier. That and the final opponents could be as slow as 10.5 now. Okay, so all these things kind of plays into helping us get through this challenge a little bit easier than before. And this is where sometimes waiting a little bit instead of rushing to try to finish something can actually pay off. In this case, naturally, everything looks a little bit easier because, well, you know, people were probably complaining. Now, it's going to show extreme from here on. That is because my dyno is actually close to that, about a 10.022, which, watch, as you can see, I'm running well under that. This is the beauty of this car, but also its curse. If you take this car and start pushing it like that in live, well, guess what? The down-tuned detector from Natural Motion's live matchmaking will pick that up and boot you right to a faster lobby, or maybe not immediately, but pretty quickly. So self-control and controlling your runs is going to be key. I have a feeling somewhere in the future we're going to end up facing some kind of showdown with this car being used as well. I mean, that's just been a pattern I've seen with a lot of events. Okay, here we go. All right, that was a little bit too early maybe on the launch side, but that's okay. It should still run substantially under 10.5. Okay, very consistent using Zoocar's pattern. I do want to thank him for putting out these videos with the shift patterns. I use them as much as anybody. Very good videos, very good patterns. I don't know how much work he puts in to find these things because while I like tuning cars, I don't have the patience to test every variation of shift patterns. So it's always good to have someone else to rely on. Again, very good run coming out of this car with Nitrous, and so far so good as far as moving forward, ignoring the challenge levels. And that is kind of true for this entire event at this point. You should be able to get through on 3, stage 6. But here's the thing. You need body and tire. Those two are far too big for you to ignore because without them, your time drop is going to be a lot. And that major time drop may very well prevent you from finishing the event. Okay, so 255 mile per hour. This is the first speed trap. It's a little trickier for me because obviously I'm trying to get it here, and I'm going to nitrous here and then go to 6 and hope that it pushes it enough. It may be close. Oh, didn't do it. All right, I'm going to try 6 gear. Now, I can easily tune to do it, but I believe I can do it without changing the tune for this particular challenge. It's just a matter of getting that initial launch into the 6 quickly. Let's try 6 gear only. Again, with the push, it may make it, but it's going to be close. Nope. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go try to, wow, look at that, 254.5. So we're very close. Before I give in and actually tune it for the speed trap, I'm going to try one more time. Again, I'm going to go to 5th this time quickly, let it pump up a little bit, and then hit 6 and hope that will be enough for getting that hunt. Okay, just a little bit of an extra tweak there. Hopefully it'll be enough to get over the hump. No, it won't. Oh boy. All right. By dropping final drive a click or two, I will definitely make it. I mean, this is close enough that it's frustrating at the same time. Tuning is probably easier than trying to find another way to launch and nitrous the car. I can get through that 255 literally with a few clicks on the final drive. That's all you need. It'll increase substantially the top speed here. In fact, if you look here, 272 becomes the top speed. If you go to like around here, you're looking at 268, and that will slow down the car a little bit on the runs, but it will definitely get you through the speed traps a lot better. I was only half a mile per hour essentially to beat it. Now with all the extra push, we should be hitting about 260s going into the speed trap. Okay, so again, I'm just going to go to 6 and nitrous. I mean, that's really all you need to do, and it seems to produce some of the best results. So that's what I'm going to do. And now if I go really quick to 6, that may give me that little extra I need, but as it stands, it looks like this will do just fine. 260 mile per hour. There will be a tougher challenge coming up, so I'm going to have to probably tune it a little bit more aggressively towards 260 and then click a little faster when I launch. But let's go back and put the car back to that 10.38 location where I can continuously beat the opponents, at least going towards the final race. So again, nitrous can be used, and so far it is quite effective. On the speed trap end, I think engine may actually be a little easier to hit that higher top speed, but nitrous is not too shabby either. Okay, so here we go. I think I can get it down to a 11022, but there it is. All right. So 11022, that's our dyno. We're going to go back and bang out a few more. Now the 260 plus mile per hour is the next speed trap, and then the final one, for some reason, as far as I know, it's been reduced again. So you're not going to face anything more than, I think, the max speed trap of a 262 at this point. But we'll know when we get there. Now let's go ahead and knock out a few more races. Again, with the shift pattern and nitrous added at the much greater duration, it seems to run really well so far on getting under 10.4. So anything under 10.4 will get you pretty much through this event, unless right near the end there, you run into some of the faster opponents. That's just a matter of jumping out, jumping back in, and that shouldn't make that much of a difference to us, to spend a few gas pips to find a slower guy. And I believe the slowest guy now for the final race is around 10.5. So obviously easy when we get there. So really, the only challenge to this seems to be the speed trap, which is what you have to work on. Now, here I can be a little sloppy and still get away with easily winning these, but it certainly wouldn't be as good a run because I didn't launch or shift very well in the beginning. Okay, yeah, so that was quite a bit slower, and that happens quite a lot with just slight variation in the shift pattern. This is where shift pattern is very important for any event. No matter how well you have the car set up and tuned, if you're shifting it really poorly or using the completely wrong pattern, the car's not going to perform, and that's something to keep an eye out. Okay, so the getting out of that initial gear really fast is pretty important for getting a good time. And here we go. That wasn't as good as I had hoped, but it's not terrible. Okay, so not the best run there either, but so far so good anyway. Let's go ahead and see what's next. And yet again, I forgot to add gas before I started the Evo Cup. One of my normal mistakes. Oh, here we go, 261. All right, I thought it was 260, whatever. 261, remember we did 260 with that other tweak. And I know I'm not going to be able to do it with this setup because even if I do really well, I think it's only going to do about a 250 something. So definitely need to retune for this. Again, 254 is about 255 on the big chart, but 254 and change is what I'm about to get. Yep, 254. So let's go ahead and tune it again and add gas while I'm at it. Okay. I have a feeling that do you want to watch video thing's going to pop up. Let's see if it does. I'm not going to watch it, but it may pop up. Okay, it didn't. Good. Let's go ahead and add gas. Get the gas in there. All right. So again, final drive. So now I know I only need 261. So this time I'm not even going to worry about putting it to 270. I'm just going to put it right to like where 261 ends. Something like that will guarantee pretty much that you'll hit that 261 in the quarter mile, because this car actually does get to its half mile top speed pretty fast, and once it gets there, it just kind of holds it for the later half. Okay, so here we go. Let's go ahead and skip right to 6 in nitrous, and that should get us a 261 and change. And if it doesn't, well, then I may have some work cut out for me. Okay, here we go. Rock and roll. Now I'm going to skip to 6 as quick as I can, and nitrous. And this gives it the most amount of time to push that car to whatever it's supposed to hit. And there it is. Okay, 261, no problem. Bang, 262, but it's 261 and change, because that's what the dyno says it would have topped out at. And back to dyno again. I believe I'm going to tweak it so that I can hit that 255 this time, because I'll sacrifice a little time just so I don't have to retune yet again for another speed trap. And the only thing I need to do there really is, I'm talking about basically half a mile here. So something like this, which will give me a little bit. I'll go for the higher end here on the tune. Okay, which really wouldn't make that much difference, I think, for the purpose of beating the time. But it will give me a little extra bump on the speed trap, which is what I want. So I'll go ahead and do the 313. That basically doesn't affect the way the car may run, but it should affect my quarter mile just enough to get through without another retune. At least that's my theory. Okay. And in the meantime, I think it's more than enough to still win the races. It should run a little bit slower because the top speed's a little bit slower, but it'll accelerate a little quicker, so it's probably a wash in the grand scheme of it. Okay, here we go. Okay, So same deal. I'm using Zucar's shift pattern as close as I can duplicate it according to his video, which isn't saying much because I'm usually a little bit off when I try to duplicate his shift patterns. All right. A little bit slower, not a big deal because it's still fast enough to get us through, but there's hope that the top speed will be better in the quarter mile, enough for me to get through speed trap. Okay. Right now it's just time runs. I don't expect any opponent to really run anything less than, whoops, that was bad. Anything less than a 10.5 at the moment, so it shouldn't take me much effort to beat them, even if I do run almost a 10.5 on my runs. And that was a 10.5. Okay, see 10.6. So again, getting towards the faster end here, more than halfway through race 11, but so far everything basically, in my opinion, has been easy. It's not even hard. This is actually all pretty much easy for a Evo Cup. Okay, so this one, I don't know if I think I launched too early, but whatever. Hopefully I don't lose this. That would be embarrassing. Oh, I'm going to lose it. Oh, that sucks. All right, let's take a look at his time. Oh, yeah, I mean, I just totally botched that run. That's why. Okay, so that was too much of a early launch. I'm going to go ahead and stick with letting go at end of 2. What did I just do? Gonna lose again. No. No, this sucks. Don't lose, please. Oh, and you lose again. All right. Okay, I need to concentrate. This is starting to get out of hand. I'm trying to save myself a little bit of retuning. Here I'm wasting it on losing runs. Okay, here we go. A little bit of more focus. All right, actually doing this correctly for a change. That should not lose this time. I mean, I'm definitely going to run it a lot better than last 2. Here we go. Done. Wasted 2 gas pips. It does hurt me. I'm cheap like that. I like my gas filled. But anyway, 2 gas pips wasted, 2 runs wasted, but let's move on. Ignore what I just did. Okay, here we go. This is another 255. So here's interesting. This would have been a 266 mile per hour, I think, yesterday or 2 days ago. But whatever, they dropped it, and I'm not complaining. Now, this time is what I was talking about. Okay, I'm going to go right to 6 and hit Nitrous. With my slight tweak, my belief is I will beat 255. And I do. And there it is. Just by kind of utilizing a little bit of a drop on the final drive, I have now avoided having to go back to retune. But what little time I saved, I kind of wasted by, crashing. That'll waste some time too. And we're back. I believe, and this is an issue from before as well. I believe sometimes when you get milestones or these daily rewards kick in while in the middle of an event, it can crash your event. This is an observation made a long time ago with an older update by some players. It may still be the case that this triggers crashes, but whatever. Bottom line is, the game doesn't want me to get through this event quickly, so it kicked me out, made me waste some time reloading, and now we're actually back, and where am I? I'm lost. Oh, here we go. So we're back, finished the challenge there. Since I'm already stuck going back to garage anyway, I'm going to tune the car so I can run those 10.3/8s again, just so I have a better chance of not having to come back in and out to deal with losing to opponents because my car is too slow. Okay, so here we go. We're going to go back to that setting, and I'm going to go now to try to finish the rest of the event because there are no more speed traps. That was the last one, 255. Unless, of course, the reset forced me to go through it again. No, it didn't. So time to go race. So here we are. Last 3 races with Nitrous, body and tire. A little bit different combination. But engine, body, and tires. The other one I know also works. And who knows? Maybe another one will work as well, but it's hard to say at this point. But my feeling is you definitely won't do well without body and tire. Now, if you have body or tire and maybe 4 others, that may still work, but having body and tire is definitely critical. Now, somehow I'm not getting as good a run now as I was earlier. Probably overthinking this. 10.571 is the slowest guide I think I found for this race, race 13, because it can go as low as the 10.3 opponent by the time you get to these races. I did it on another account and I saw that I was getting a 10.3 opponent, which beat me repeatedly until I found a slower opponent that ran the 10.5s. Okay, so here we go. Let's try to get this done right. And I'm pulling away, so that's obviously another slow opponent. And I finally did 10.3 something again, I hope. Yes, 10.38, 10.566, and I'm on race 15 coming up. Let's go ahead and get it done. And that should help me complete this event. Again, it depends on who I get for the final opponent. If I get a fast car, then I may have to jump out again. That may be a decently quick car, but I'm not too worried. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this done. Pulling ahead. I got this. Easy peasy. And we are done with this race with Nitrous body and tire. And I believe that's the last. Oh, that is the last race. Excellent. So I beat Max. Maxthegamer beats Max. Funny, it turns out to be this guy's name for my final race. All right. And that means I should be getting delivery now on the Purple Star car. My feeling is the Purple Star car may be slightly quicker than the Gold Star car. That's usually the case. Not always the case. Sometimes the Purple Star car is slightly slower. It's rare, but it happens. The question is going to be, is it worth it now to literally transfer stage 6s, fusions, and spend that another 6 million, 7 million to build this car, this Heritage Edition, over the Gold Star? Let me look into it, but my feeling is probably not, unless this becomes some kind of a required car for the next event, which it may be. If it is, then of course we're stuck. But if it's not, I'm going to save my money for now. One thing I don't do is I don't rush to start building them. There's no point. You wait, and then when the time comes and it looks like, you know, this car is required, then I'll build it then and deal with it at that point. So for now, it's going to sit stock, along with many other Purple Star cars I've collected over time from different events. Hey, so a quick summary. This was the Evolution Cup done with Nitrous, body and tire only. I tweaked a little bit for the final drive to get the speed trap, but overall I would rate this as a very easy Evo Cup with the Gold Star car. I hope you liked the video. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments. If you like my channel, please subscribe so you can get notifications when I put up new videos. As always, thank you for watching my videos. I'll catch you next time.